Okay, so there's nobody here at the playground right now. I forget what they call this, Suwanee Play Center, maybe something simple like that. But I figured I'd take advantage of this opportunity to go have a deeper look. Come around from the back way, just for fun. This facility looks really new also. I love these play centers, the way that they design them these days to look like a little city or something. All mostly completely out of wood. This reminds me of Christensen Family Land, which was in Winchester, Virginia. It was a playground design that I remember taking part in. I was part of a charrette, a little town design group where they involved the kindergartners at my elementary school as part of the place where they wanted to get some opinions on some things that they should include as part of their design for their playground. And Christensen Family, that was when I was young, man. I was in kindergarten. That was years ago. That was Christensen Family. That's old. It's old news now, but it was most definitely designed in the same style that this one was designed in, all made out of all wood like this. So I'm glad to see that these kind of style playgrounds are still sticking around. But yeah, see, they have it designed like a little town even. They have the drive-through here, and over there you saw the kiddie hall. So they have it even designed like a little community in mind for the kids. Here's another art exhibit. It actually says right here, look, sit, climb, enjoy. And somebody has crossed out climb. But the artist wanted to, I guess, put it nearby the playground as a way to encourage kids to climb on top of it. Tractor is the name of this one. From this perspective here. Make me feel like a kid again. Yep. Google and Grins, brought to you by 1,000+ volunteers who built PlayTown in October of 2023. That's kind of the same way that Christensen Family Land was set up as well, all by pretty much all volunteers who went there all together at the same time to build it all together. So they had the same kind of deal in mind, and relatively easy build for them because it's all wood. Community project. So here you have Public Works was here. Sebastian, Lorenzo, Filial family. They must have been some major contributors to this play area. So that's the kiddie hall or city hall. You can see there the clock tower. Save the clock tower. Back to the Future reference. So here's all his names of all the people who either contributed money or contributed their time to working on the project solidly. Yeah, I would gather that these names were prepared in advance to be part of the design. So the big bosses, they knew what was up. Yeah, this is your drive-through. This is your McDonald's style restaurant with your drive-through and your menu. That's interesting that they put that in here as part of the the culture. The names continue all around here. Let me go back there. And yeah, the names are everywhere. I don't know what this thing is. Bongos? Yeah, musical, yeah, it's exactly what they are. Bongos, musical instruments area. All. There's the train. All the names there, if you see. Jungle Gym. Yeah, the train tracks are pretty much right beside the park here. You go, the train goes right through town, but you know, they're freight trains these days, so they don't stop anymore. But you can hear it coming closer. Yeah, you can even see it in the distance there. Going by. I'm a little bit surprised that they actually haven't made that a bigger part of the theme of the playground, because you know, kids love. There is a caboose nearby down the other side of Main Street, and I have included that in one of my videos, but the caboose is closed. And if you go to Ackworth, Georgia, on the other side of Atlanta, the western side, there's another town there with a caboose that you can actually go inside, and it's cool because it's an actual history museum. And it's, you know, most history museums are only open till like 5. So here's a little building that they want you to feel like you're going into here. I don't really feel like ducking my head, but this is a very similar scenario to what we had going on at Christensen Family Land. Little tunnels like this that we made. It's very similar. Steps, you know, all multiple levels. You always have to have multiple levels. But yeah, they've carried out a theme with this one, a little Main Street downtown town park theme. Little buildings they've created here to kind of lay out the architecture as one of the main themes that they have here. town center theme, whatever you call it. Long train. Yeah, so this is the, oh, and you have this. That looks something that you would find at the McDonald's parking, or the McDonald's playground. I'm not going to sit in that today. It's too wet. Now, looking back again from this direction, you have City Hall here. Kitty Hall. And this area is designed for children ages 5 to 12. Adult supervision is recommended. Okay, they're talking about the tunnels area. But this is the designer here, Leathers and Associates. So they're the playground architects. Boy, that would have been a great job, man, being a playground architect. Now, I actually did look into being a playground architect at some point in time in my life. Which way should the kid of heart take us? So they've kind of designed it to be like a maze a little bit. Once again, exactly the same way that they did at my childhood playground. Slide. You would not want to do that today. There's a viewpoint from above here. This is a little bit more detailed and intricate than just taking a series of photos. I'm used to taking, I would probably take 50 or 60 photos within the framework of this area that I am, just because it's, you know, what I'm curious about, and that's how I take photos. But I never was able to figure out what to do with those photos exactly. I could sit there and take the time to put them all together in a book, but that's kind of why I've decided to do these videos instead. I've decided to try to take my photography work that I've done and see if there's a way that I could translate that into something a little bit different, something a little bit more palatable for the people of this generation to be able to look at. And this playground is pretty expansive. It's pretty big, I would say. And it can hold a lot of kids. And I have been here on a day when there were a ton of kids here. Oh. All kinds of bridges and coverings. I want to use the word awning but I'm not sure if that's correct. Pagoda, roofs, rooftops. So instead of taking 50 or 60 individual photos of the entire place and trying to see what to do with those videos, I've decided just to put my photographic style in the format of a video and see how it may pan out from there. Got some slides here. This would be a heck of a lot of fun, man, as a kid. Just knowing the way that I really have a deep appreciation for architecture and urban planning, urban design, urban fabric, small towns, you know, of Atlanta, in and around Atlanta. Because I have that kind of interest in stuff, this kind of thing is really right up my alley, especially since I love amusement parks and theme park design, and that's actually an area that I tried to break into at some point in time in my life. And there's not too many amusement park, theme park design firms that actually exist. There's only really a small handful of them. So the bigger ones like Forek and Jack Rouse Associates, those are two of the bigger companies that handle probably the majority of theme park designs that you see coming out these days. And they do museum design as well, which I think is pretty neat. Okay, gonna briefly switch back over to the landscape format and then I'll finish up here. So I'm not planning on going all the way to the other side of the structure there, but you see they have some webs here that kids can use to, if they feel like transporting themselves. They do definitely need to have some parental supervision here, because some of these games and activities that they have designed as part of this playground seem a little mildly dangerous to me. Like this thing. Kind of dangerous, right? Yeah, this is one heck of a structure, man, where everything is integrated together into one concept. So the entire playground is all structured together and it's all linked together. It's not like you have to get off of one object first and then walk over to another object. No, it's all integrated so that you see the object that you want to go to, but now you have to find out how to get there. And you can't just get there by just stepping down and walking over to it. Part of the challenge in itself is trying to figure out how you're going to do that. How are you going to get yourself from point A to point B? Well, yeah, I could just step down and come around like as an adult, but that's what adults do. We cheat. But as you see here, kids have other ways around. there's loopholes for kids. They can climb on these little jungle gym sets here to get their way over places. And hopefully they'll have a lot of fun doing it. You got your rings here. And I just like to keep taking a look at the different points of view of the tops of the buildings to just kind of get an overall viewpoint of how intricate this playground is, how much thought's been put into this. But this is not by any means a unique playground design whatsoever. Like I said, I'm 48 years old now, and this was when I was in kindergarten when we were doing our charrette brainstorming groups all about Christensen Family Land. And I don't want to calculate how many years ago that was, but it was a long time ago. So this style of playground is not new by any means, and the style that they have concocted according to this architectural group is not an original style by any means. So they most definitely have copied, quote unquote, borrowed concepts from other places. So this is not an original concept. This is all pretty much exactly the same as what Christensen Family Land was like. And I would almost wonder if the firm that designed this may be the same exact firm that happened to do Christensen Family Land as well. That would be an interesting thing to look up. But one thing I learned about design is that it's okay in some circumstances to borrow ideas from other designers. Notice we use the word borrow, not steal. Another slide here. This reference point, the bridge. Some more artwork there. That might be one of the sculptural installments that we've been looking at. Part of that. Here's the slide going down. Nice and curvy. Oh, there's some people coming in now. Okay. All right, well, in that case, here's the final fire engine pump house. You can choose to go down this way if you'd like, if you're a kid. This might be too much detail for YouTube viewers to enjoy. They might not be used to my style, but it is what it is, and as for now, what you get is what you're going to get. Okay? All right, well, that about wraps it up for this particular video, and hope to see you again very soon. This is kind of neat. This is a little interactive game that kids can play here as they're hanging out in the playground. Where is Parker? Parker is Suwanee's mascot. So help us. Suwanee's mascot has gone missing. It looks like he's left some clues in the playground. Can you find him? And then it tells you what the kids should do. 10 clues that look like this have been left in the playground. Every clue has a riddle on it. Each riddle will lead you to the next location in the playground. Solve the riddle to find the next clue. The final riddle will lead you to Parker the pup. And Parker looks like that. Okay? So that's an interactive game that kids can play when they come here. at least one time. And they give you a clue there. I did not see any of those when I was in there. But yeah, just a little addendum there. A bit more reference outside the confines of the playground itself. We're on the park, the little park area here, or picnic area outside where the parents can hang out while their kids are in here. And they can supervise them from, you know, a little bit far away, a little distance here. I may have noted this before, but I just wanted to get a reference for the name of the playground. Seen above the sun. I don't know if you can see it or not. It says PlayTown Suwanee, I think is the name of the park. And once again, by 1,000+ volunteers who built PlayTown in October of 2023. So it is a relatively new park. Because it's 2026 now. That was 3 years ago. And then here is, just as reference, the toilets. That's a pretty futuristic looking water fountain there. It looks like you just put your bottle there and it fills it up for you. Okay, that's neat. Oh, and this is a nice little addition. I think that this might be for pets. That's cute. Down here on the ground. So that would be for your dog. And the button. For your dog. Oh, I hope. Anyway. All right. Well, once again, that's about it. That's all we got for now.